me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
People were getting outdoors and you had space to spread out. Our trails were super popular. Our rec staff were doing these amazing online videos and classes to keep people busy at home. That's kind of how we had to do it. And I think it was great for our industry because I don't know that as many people were using Parks and Rec until they were kind of like almost forced to because they didn't have any choice. And I think it was great for us.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the NRPA Conference 2025 in Orlando. Today's episode is packed with innovation and inspiration. We are joined by Kim Bybee from Carrollton, Texas, better known as the Queen of Robotics in Parks and Rec. From autonomous mowers to GPS field sprayers, and now a cutting-edge drone that can fertilize, seed, and protect sports fields, her team is redefining what sustainable maintenance looks like. We'll dive into how technology is solving labor challenges, boosting field quality, and even attracting international tournaments to Carrollton. Plus, we'll talk about the shift toward all-electric crews, the essential role of Parks and Rec during COVID, and why innovation isn't just about efficiency. It's about building healthier, stronger communities. Stick around. You won't want to miss how Kim and her team are leading the future of Parks and Recreation. Let's dive in.
All right, so we are live again on our second day at the NRPA Conference 2025 in Orlando, and I have a special guest with me, Kim Bybee. She is I'm trying to make her famous across the country as the Queen of Robotics. She has done such a great job with embracing this autonomous robots, trying to incorporate them into their field sprayers, mowers, and then she has a recent announcement. Why don't you tell us about the recent one that you got going?
Yeah, so we just recently purchased a drone that actually puts chemicals out, so liquid or granular chemicals on our fields.
And how now most people, when they think drone, they're thinking something this big.
No,
How
this
big
thing
is
is big. I think it's about like 10 foot across almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like bigger than my desk.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And what's the payload on this thing?
I don't know about the weight on it. I know it can carry about 150 pounds.
Wow.
So it's pretty hefty.
And so this is for spraying like pesticides, fertilizers, or what can it do?
Yeah, it can put out any kind of pesticide, liquid, fertilizer, does granular seed. So if you're overseeding, it allows us to get in areas that we may not be able to get into sometimes with drainage channels and drainage ways. But it's also more efficient in just putting out stuff on our fields in general. We currently have just the regular gator type thing with the boomsticks, but this is actually going to be able to like allow an operator to stand off to the side and, you know, efficiently put the chemical or the fertilizer out.
And how long does it, I'm assuming, yes, it's all definitely battery powered.
Yeah.
And so how long does it fly for, like 4 hours, 3 hours, or an hour?
I can't remember the exact length of time, but it's enough for us to be able to get some fields done. And then you always have extra batteries waiting in the wings, so you can at least get through all your stuff in a day.
Yeah.
But we went out and think that flying, you know, and just the air, and if there's wind, that it may not distribute evenly, but it actually really does a good coverage, and it goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, crop dusters, just as how we fertilize. Yeah, same concept.
And our operator is having to get his license as if he's like an ag operator.
No way.
Yeah, he's got to get his Part 107, but he's got some like medical and ag certifications he's got to get as if he was a crop duster.
Is that Richard?
No, Richard's not doing it. It's one of our chemical applicators that's doing it. Yeah.
And so you have to have a license to spray chemicals.
Yep.
And now you have to have another license to fly this thing.
Yep.
And that's the person that gets to operate it.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. There's people that are like leaving our industry to do this for a living. Just because when we first heard about it, there's a lot of them that do it to put seed out on mountainsides where there's been a lot of fires, so they can kind of, you know, reforest everything and grow more crops.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the drones came on the scene for a while now. I thought they would have been adopted quicker, but it seems to be finally coming in, at
Yeah.
least at the municipal level. Do you know anyone else in city government or Parks and Rec that has done something like this?
I don't. I'm sure there are. I'm sure where we're getting it from, we can probably ask them. But I think it seems to be more like agricultural type stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know us, we like to try stuff, so we'll be the first.
Yes, I think y'all. Well, as far as I know, as many people as I've interviewed, I think over 750 this year. I don't know anyone else that's doing it quite like y'all. So I appreciate y'all leading the charge there.
Yeah.
What motivated all that kind of embracing of the technology and trying to figure it out? Were there some, I guess, labor issues that y'all
I
were
mean,
facing?
you know, you're always going to have labor issues and budget constraints and stuff, but I think it's just always trying to. We're big about sustainability in our city and efficiency, spending dollars wisely. I mean, these are our citizens' dollars that we're spending. So, Richard, our superintendent, has always brought different ideas to us. And, you know, like I said in our last interview, we're just not afraid to try these things. And, you know, budgets are getting a lot tighter. And knowing that we can go out and buy 4 autonomous mowers for the cost of 1 real mower and get just as much, if not more, work done and free up labor to do other things. I mean, it's just kind of a win-win for us.
Yeah. Now, what's your oldest robot? I think the field sprayers probably came on the line first.
Yeah, our field painters, we just got a new one like 2 years ago because we had one of the original ones and it was no longer being serviced. But I think autonomous mowers, our oldest is probably, I think this summer was 2 years that we had it. And
Okay.
it's still going.
And how is let's talk about the maintenance that y'all had to do on the year. What blades, or is there anything else, or batteries, or what does the maintenance look like on these things?
I mean, it's just changing out the blades when you need to. You know, we have some communication issues, but it's nice because the autonomous mowers have an app. And so our guys have access to the app and it'll let you know if it's stopped or it's stuck, so we can go out and service it right away. You're not just kind of like going out and finding it just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know ahead of time.
What brand do y'all have? Is it the
We have Husqvarna.
Husqvarna?
Yeah.
And y'all have gotten the same type each time?
Yeah. So we have 6 now.
6. And have they iterated, or is it pretty much the same 6 mowers, or are the older ones a little bit, or new ones a little bit better?
No, they're the same. We have 2 brands. Well, we have the Ciora, which is the larger one, and then we have the smaller one, which you could use at residential, but we just have it doing like 1 field, and the larger ones will do 2 or 3 fields.
Yeah. Yeah. And do they cut at night, or they only cut kind of when y'all are there, or what's
whenever we basically tell it when not to cut, and that's when maybe a game is scheduled. But outside of that, it's running all night. It's running during the day. I mean, even on a Saturday, if there's games going, but there's not one on that particular field, it will be mowing that field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, so y'all are able to actually cut the fields more frequently.
Correct. Yeah. Real mowers, we were getting twice a week on a field. Now the fields are probably actually being cut 5 days during a week.
Wow.
They're running 7 days, but the field's getting cut probably 4 or 5. And our field quality is just shot way up.
Yeah. What does that do for field quality when you can actually cut it that frequently?
It just makes the grass grow thicker. It's allowed to kind of choke out the weeds if you had weeds, but it just makes a softer, denser surface. And then during the summer months, we slice regularly. So we have 38 fields. So we'll slice them all and then we just start back over and aerate them a little bit, just to help with the compaction and stuff. So I know a lot of my boys play competitive soccer. And so I know a lot of people in the competitive soccer industry in our area, and they're constantly commenting how the quality of fields that we have. And we're actually getting exposure because of it. There's people that want to host tournaments at our fields. We have international exposure with CONCACAF. The referees train with us, and international teams are now coming to train with us when they're in town for stuff. We're hoping World Cup is coming here to, the United States next summer, and we're still potentially on the list to host somebody. So that's exciting.
Yeah. What does it mean to slice? Is that similar to plugging, where it
a little bit? So it's more like a blade that just kind of runs through, so you can play on the field immediately after you slice. We're aerating. If you're going to poke cores and stuff, you may want to give it a minute because you got to pull the cores off, but it's just a cleaner way to aerate.
Okay. Now, are any of those other machines autonomous that are coming out with stuff, or you still have the kind of tractors that do all that?
Yeah. Right now the mowers are the only thing that we have that's autonomous. I don't know of a lot of other things that are. I mean, the GPS painters are, but you still have to have someone there that's kind of monitoring it or nearby in case it stops. But and then we have the electric crew, which isn't autonomous. Our guys operate it, but it has been a neat thing. Greenworks is what we got I actually saw them here. They just sent me our promotional video that we did for them to kind of advertise it. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you. But yeah, it's our all electric crew that we launched. So they have an electric truck. We got a Chevrolet EV, and then we got 2 zero turns, a standing, a riding, and then all of our handheld equipment is electric. And it's been a neat thing just to see and test it out if this is the direction we want to go.
Yeah. And so we got what, electric blowers and weed eaters plus the
Mhm.
mowers and the trucks.
Yep.
So that's y'all's all electric crew.
Yep.
How many crews do y'all have total?
Mowing wise, we have about 5.
So one of them is the electric crew.
Yes. Yep.
So what do they think as opposed to, being on the old gas crews? Are they are they wanting to make another electric crew or?
So it was an adjustment. The guys were like a little unsure. I mean, they're used to things, but they love it. These guys are so used to the gas oil smell every day that some of them were going on with headaches. And so then they started working on this electric crew and they're like, oh my gosh, we don't have that anymore.
Wow.
So it was kind of a difference in that, the difference in the weight of the equipment. But we kind of worked with them on that. Like we have like harness straps and stuff that they can wear, but they just kind of like it. It's not as loud and noisy. Again, when you're using a piece of equipment as much as they do, and then you have to kind of change is a little hard in our world, but I mean, the crew enjoys it.
Yeah. And it's been around for what? Have they made a full year with it?
No, well, almost a full mowing season. We launched it in May. So they're, ideally we're wrapping mowing season up here in a month, but it's Texas. So you never know when that's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we made a video for y'all last week. I've been showing it to a lot of my guests.
Yeah.
And this one is on why Parks and Rec is an essential service. We saw that a lot of people were fighting for tax dollars, fighting for their survival during COVID because Parks and Rec somehow got categorized as non-essential.
Right.
So we made a video for y'all to be able to play in front of stakeholders or elected officials so that maybe you can get a better conversation going so that we can reframe it a little. So I'll play this and I'd love to get your thoughts on it when we get back.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure. The recreation center, where seniors fight isolation. The swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
How do we do?
That was great. I mean, Parks and Rec are essential. Luckily, when we went into COVID, it wasn't a hard sell for us to be able to justify like needing to stay operational. People were getting outdoors and you had space to spread out. Our trails were super popular. Our rec staff were doing these amazing online videos and classes to keep people busy at home. So it was, that's kind of how we had to do it. And I think it was great for our industry because I don't know that as many people were using Parks and Rec until they were kind of like almost forced to because they didn't have any choice. And I think it was great for us.
Yeah, they were having cabin fever.
Yeah, they
Everybody
needed to get out. And they're like, where do we go? And we're like, well, you have stuff in your backyard you can go to.
You realize there is a park
Yes.
that's been here for 100 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy how so many people discovered Parks and Rec for the first time during COVID.
I know. But hey, if it takes a pandemic to figure it out, like we'll take it because now they
Right.
know about it and it's bigger than ever.
Yeah, I think the industry is forever going to be, I guess, noticed because of that event. I mean, it threw so many people that, for any other reason, probably would have never discovered their parks.
Yeah.
Are y'all finding a lot more pop-up events in y'all's parks? I noticed in New Orleans, there's more run clubs, yoga stuff, just unscheduled events that are just hopping up in the green spaces. Is that just local for us, or is that happening for y'all too?
I think it's kind of happening. We have a lot more groups that are coming out. It's just more people trying to get more niche stuff that we maybe can't offer.
Mhm.
And it's more of a social thing too. So I think there's a lot of people that are trying to create their own groups and socialize with one another.
Yeah. Well, how is your convention going? Anything you'd like to maybe to suggest for people to come to these type of events?
I think the biggest thing with this is just networking. It's great to just meet people from all over the country that do a lot of the similar things that you do, but in a different way, because we all have different resources and different challenges, and to learn from those. It's been fantastic. And just kind of getting to see the vendors that you work with on a regular basis is always good. But and it's a great opportunity to learn things that you may not specialize in, because there's so many different topics of sessions that you can go to that may not be what your specific role is, but you can kind of learn about it and branch out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the
course.
show today. And I appreciate you leading the charge on all things robotics.
Yeah.
And I keep bragging on you a lot. So if you get some random people,
I've actually had some people reach out and ask, but maybe here in a couple months, once we get the drone going, we'll give you some feedback on it.
Yes, if we could maybe do a live show and just
Yeah.
record it, that would be fantastic. I'd love to
do
see it
that.
in action. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and have a
Yeah.
great convention.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.